Hey, Steve Shelley here with Diesel Domination, and just headed down the highway north of Helena, Montana, where I live, and I was just thinking of to make a real quick video here to share with you 5 things that you can do, that I do personally, that will make sure that you have optimal fuel mileage in your Powerstroke, Cummins, or Duramax. If you watch me all the way to the end, to the number 5 thing, not only will you get optimal economy, you'll actually increase your truck's fuel economy. So the first thing that I want to talk about is fuel. You want to make sure that you get your diesel fuel at a place that is going to be fresh. Now, if you're in the south where there's high humidity, I mean, they can get water in those tanks, right? So you want to be filling up at a place that you know that fuel is in there fresh all the time, nonstop. I personally prefer truck stops because I know that tank is being refilled all the time with fresh fuel. See, diesel that sits in a tank for a while, one, will get water in it, but it'll also get microbes in it because it is organic. So that's really important where you get your fuel. I've been in the diesel performance industry for 17 years, and I've had so many truck owners tell me, man, I will only fill up at XYZ, fuel station, because that's where I get, the best fuel mileage. If I fill up anywhere else, I'll lose 1 mile or 2 per gallon. So that's really important. The second thing that's very important that I make sure I do in all my vehicles is I keep my air filters and fuel filters clean. Now, the air filter, when you're driving a turbo diesel, is the lifeblood of that whole engine. So if that thing is sucking it, not being able to suck in air real well, guess what? That's going to affect your fuel efficiency. So you want to make sure that you keep that air filter clean. Now, a lot of guys, they take it out a long ways and they think by time, but right now it's summertime here in Helena, Montana. It's hot, it's dry, it's dusty, right? There's bugs out that weren't out back in February, March, and April. So right now, summertime, my air filters are going to get dirty probably 10 times faster than they were back in the spring, with all the dust and pollen and everything else in the air that's going to be clogging it up. So make sure you keep your filters, your air filter and your fuel filter, clean. The third thing that's really important is tires. I tell you, a good example of this is just 2 years ago, I was swapping out the tires on my Chevy Duramax, and my buddy, who had a Ford Powerstroke 6.7, swapped out his tires at the same time. I went from an all-terrain to a mud tire. He went from a mud tire to an all-terrain tire. I lost 2 miles per gallon. He gained 2 miles per gallon. Why is that? Rolling resistance, weight of tire, all those things factor into tires. If you're going down the highway and you're always on highway, you're not off-road, man, find the best tire you can. Don't skimp on tires, man, when it comes to, because they'll pay for themselves. The value of a good tire will pay for itself. And one of the things that us guys like is we like big tires on a truck. They just look better. Well, big tires will also your fuel mileage, because you got more rolling resistance. You're lifting your truck up. You're losing some of that aerodynamics of your truck. So tires are a big thing. You got to make sure tires, read some reviews. I'm actually in a 2020 right now Ford, and I am going to put brand new tires on this. I'm doing research to find the best tires for this, because this truck will go off-road, but it's going to also do a lot of on-road driving. So I'm trying to find that hybrid tire that I'm not going to kill my fuel efficiency, but at the same time have what I need, for traction when I'm taking it up in the mountains elk hunting here in Montana. So those 4 things are really important, or 3, those are 3 things. The 4th thing that's really important is flush your injectors with an injector flush at least once every 6 months, or at least up to a year, okay? I'm not kidding you how much junk will build up in an injector. Today's injectors are very fine needles inside of them. They're high pressure. Just a tiny little bit of junk and carbon can build up in there and affect the atomization of that fuel when it's coming out of the end of that injector. If it's more dribbling than it is atomizing, you're going to be losing fuel economy. So it's very important that you clean those out. The product I recommend, and I don't make any money off of it, I'm just telling you, this is the best product I personally use and have ever found, is from a company called BG Products. That's Bravo Golf Products. That's their website's bgproducts.com or bgprod.com. You got to buy the stuff from a local mechanic that they supply it to, but 245 is the name of the product for diesels. If you got a gas engine, it's called 44K. But I'm telling you what, the stuff is phenomenal. I had a 2005 Chevy Duramax. We replaced, it was a high mileage truck. We replaced the engine, put brand new injectors in it, and that truck was 14 miles per gallon. Well, I'm a custom tuner, right? And I tuned, and it would stay on 14 miles per gallon. It wouldn't go up, wouldn't go down. So something was in the fuel system that was off. Well, I ran a bottle of 245 through that. You know, you just put 1 quart in a full tank of fuel, you run 1 tank, and then you change your filters, your fuel filters, and then you go back to running regular diesel. Well, guess what? That truck went from 14 to 18. So the true mileage of that truck was 18, but some gunk somewhere was in the fuel system, not in the injectors. I don't know if it was somewhere in the fuel rail, because we actually had put a new pump on that truck also. But there was something in that, the whole plumbing of that truck, it wiped it out of there, cleaned it out of there. That truck jumped right up. I could go in and do my tuning on it and get even better fuel economy out of it. So BG 245 for diesel, BG 44K for gas. I'm telling you what, run that stuff, flush your injectors out, get the carbon, get the junk out of there. And this is not stuff you put in your tank every day, okay? That, I don't really ever see that stuff work. This is a flush. I mean, it comes in there like Drano, and it just absolutely cleans them injectors out. Now, the fifth thing is not just for optimal fuel economy, but this is actually to increase your fuel economy. When I started in the diesel performance industry back in 2003, we were selling power modules for power, not for fuel economy. Actually, fuel back then was less than $2 a gallon. My customers started coming back saying, man, Steve, I love the power, but I just took a trip and I got back, and I make this trip all the time. I've still got a 1/4 tank of fuel left. They said, I literally picked up 100 miles out of that tank of fuel. And when I started hearing that more and more, and then fuel prices back then, if you remember, started rising. We got up to almost $5 a gallon for diesel. Well, people were wanting better fuel economy. So I shifted away from just talking about power to talking about fuel economy. And I worked with various companies at the time. And one of the main companies we worked with was Dr. Performance. There's another one called Ag Solutions that we worked with. And we were able to get better fine tuning out of the power curves of those their products to see better fuel economy. Now, I'll tell you, almost any hot rod tune from almost any company out there will give you better fuel economy. But the problem is, for a working class daily driver truck, you don't need 200 horsepower extra, right? You don't need black smoke, because what happens is any hot tune on the bottom, on the lower band, will increase your torque rise. Well, that increased torque rise on a diesel gets you up into your peak efficiency faster, and if you don't hot rod your truck, you will see better fuel economy. Well, the modules that we sell that you will find on our website, they are designed with the fast rising torque, but they don't go up into high horsepower. The max is only at 90 horsepower. So anyways, if you want to know more about them, click on the watch more button that's right below this video. I'll talk more about them, because you know, I just wanted to get these 5 things out, from the fuel to your tires, to your filters, to, you know, flushing your injection system out, and then at the last, talk to you about the installing a power module for increase in fuel economy. So if you want to know more about an increase in economy, press the watch more button right below this video. And if not, God bless you. Have a great day, and thanks for watching this video.